we're all like on episode 40 something already, Kristi, if you can
Oh,
believe that.
wow. I did
Yes.
not think it was that many already.
Yes. Plenty of episodes for you to listen to on the way to Gillum.
I have plenty of time to listen to episodes of podcasts now.
And Kati doesn't know this story, but Kristi had the audacity to ask for what podcast to listen to on the way up to Gillum. I'm like, really? Really? You have no
Oh,
clue. Welcome back to the Pear Genius podcast, where we share our genius moments with you. And you know what? That's why Kristi Arbuckle is here, because she is a mega genius. She has figured out, as per the last episode, the biohack to joy, which I think is actually one of the toughest hacks in life. But there's a big but, and it's not Kristi's.
Is it mine?
like, whose is it gonna be? He's gonna point a finger.
No, there's a big but, though. On the way to joy, we have to go through a heck of a lot of pain to get there. And then you figure out, I always say that you appreciate the good times because you've been through the hard times. And that's what makes you appreciate the good things better. So welcome back for part 2, Kristi.
Thank you for being a repeat guest star. I'm excited.
Oh, yes, we're just going to have you on loop every month.
Okay.
Just a
All right,
reoccurring guest. It's gonna be like Family Guy. You're just like our Quagmire. Here we go.
Giggity. I'm like a cartoon. I can deal with it.
There you go. And of course, Kati's here.
Oh,
And you know
thanks for the
what?
shout out.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Kati wants everybody to like, subscribe, and share because that's the only way that actual people on this earth are going to find out about what we do here. And I think that we do some pretty cool stuff. We have uncovered a lot of gold. And in turn, Kati and I have gotten so much better in the last 2 or 3 months that we've been doing this. Like, it's gone so fast. But, dude, we're all like on episode 40 something already, Kristi, if you can believe
Oh, wow.
that.
I
Yes.
did not think it was that many already.
Yes, plenty of episodes for you to listen to on the way to Gillum.
I have plenty of time to listen to episodes of podcasts now.
And Kati doesn't know this story, but Kristi had the audacity to ask for what podcast to listen to on the way up to Gillum. I'm like, really? Really? You have no clue.
Okay, but I was listening to like Sherlock and Co., which is basically like old-timey radio show. Because like you have the different characters and they're telling the Sherlock Holmes stories. So it's like the radio show. That's what sucked me in. It was like interactive audiobook kind of thing. And I was like, that's kind of what I was looking for. Just something I could like zone in on and just drive.
So what I'm hearing is, Alex, I want you to do old-timey voices like, hey, you darn damn it, partner.
With all of the associated sound effects and the doors slamming and the glass breaking and all of it.
Well, we're going to need some donations.
We need a Foley artist in here, please.
I'll get a bunch of stuff from Amazon, and Kati will have this like slide whistle every time she talks about erectile dysfunction.
Washboard.
Yeah.
We'll get a whole bunch of stuff. It'll be amazing.
And his wiener didn't work. Again, thanks. Thanks
There's
again,
one of
Kati.
my sad stories gone for later. All right. Okay.
It was one time, and I was
It's
totally
not
drunk.
that normal.
No.
But I was really horny that one time,
Yeah, it's all about you. It's not about me.
obviously.
Yes, that's what I'm figuring out. It's not me. It's you.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Nice.
The bug. Mm-hmm.
Wow, welcome back, Kristi Arbuckle. And I wanted to say on the air, congratulations on your new motorcycle. Because I can't wait to be on the back and holding on to you while you drive me around. It's a big black Indian motorcycle, and I'm not scared to say that online.
It's gonna be cool. I'm a little bit nervous that I haven't actually ridden it yet. I bought it. It's got 1 kilometer on it, but it's pretty shitty in Winnipeg still. So I was not taking that out on gravel. So
I forgot to mention at the dealership when I bought my motorcycle that I didn't have a motorcycle license, and I just drove it home.
it's only illegal if you don't get caught, right?
It was so crazy here in Calgary. I handed in my Manitoba license to get my Calgary one, and when they handed my Alberta license back, they took away my motorcycle license from Manitoba. They didn't acknowledge it here.
So did
And
you have to go do like testing again?
yeah, I had to go get retested.
Oh,
And I was just like, what the heck? How am I going to go get retested? Like, what am I supposed to do? I have no motorcycle. They're like, oh, you
yeah.
just got to ride with somebody. I'm like, I don't know anybody.
Like I just moved here.
I'm like, okay,
Interesting.
no problems. I'm just going to do this all illegally. It's fine. It's fine.
They
These are
don't
the
need to
hoops you
know.
want me to jump through? I'll jump through them.
Yeah, shit happens.
Anyway, long
Yeah.
story short, I'm so excited to get into this episode with you. And Kati was on fire on the last one. She was asking really good questions. And it's perfect that the two of us do this podcast together because she thinks completely different than me.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted her to ask the first question. That's what I'm alluding to.
Oh no, I don't know.
Oh,
It's never my job to ask the first question.
oh man. Well, I'm just gonna ask the question that. Okay, we'll start with this one. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
My
Right?
fiance died.
What? I didn't know that.
That's crazy. So we don't even know this. You just broke my heart in like 1 second.
Yeah. So I think I was telling you a bit of this like after we had stopped recording the last time that like nobody really knows the whole backstory of me. It depends. You get little bits and snippets depending on kind of where you came in along my journey. Because like I'm a pretty open book. I don't hold anything back, pretty much. But there's some stuff that's like a little closer to the vest. I found at times people treat me differently after they find out some of these things. So some of them I don't so freely volunteer on the open market.
Well,
But I
maybe
mean,
somebody would be softer to you.
I don't really want people to treat me differently though.
Well, I mean, okay. I'm gonna treat you like an ass.
That's normal.
Well,
I still love you for it. Yeah.
Oh
so,
my.
but this is fascinating.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
not fascinating in a good way, but this is wild. And one of Kati's best friends has a story not exactly like this, but she got ghosted just by her fiance just before they were supposed to get married with no thing. And I mean my heart breaks for her, but this is not the exact same thing, but this is crazy. Like you were
Yeah.
engaged to be married and he died.
Yeah.
How old were you when this happened?
Um, want to say I was 28-ish. About 28. So it would have been before I had met you guys,
Sure.
like a few years before. Um, we were a bit of an age gap relationship. He was quite a bit older than I was. And we were living together at the time. And he just kept saying like, "Oh, my stomach hurts. I don't feel good." Over and over and over. And it was just like, "Go to the doctor." "I don't need no doctor." The stupid egotistical man thing. "I'll be fine." And then it finally got so bad that he ended up in the hospital, and it was, "You have stage 4 cancer in your liver, pancreas, and colon, and there's no stopping it."
Oh wow.
So he was maybe 6 months later and he was gone. That was it.
How long
That was
were you guys
fast.
together?
We were together 4 or 5 years at that point in time.
Oh wow. So you're like in it. And then
Yeah.
when were you supposed to get married? Did you guys have a date set?
No, we didn't have a
Oh,
date. It was kind of long term. It was like, yeah, we're together. We'll figure it out at some point.
oh man.
But yeah,
That's
That's
wow.
horrible. I can't even imagine the pain he must have been in to be in stage 4.
yeah, yeah. And it had spread. They weren't even sure where it had started because it was just everywhere. So they tried chemo and stuff a little bit, but wasn't really doing anything. So
That's unbelievable. So you stood by his side for those last 6 months and cared for him right to the end?
Actually, okay, so this is gonna sound terrible. At the time, of course, he wasn't working. I was only working part-time, so I couldn't take time off work to take care of him because I had to basically have some kind of living so that we could have a place to live and whatever.
Mhm.
So his mom used to live in Tyndall, Manitoba, so a little ways outside of the city. And she ended up taking him out to live with her so that she could take him to doctor's appointments and do respite and stuff like that. So,
Right.
and I didn't have a car at that point either. So I didn't really see him for probably at least the last 4 months of his life because I had no way to get there.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
Yeah. So the only way I had really found out that he had passed was his brother called and left me a voicemail.
Oh
I
my
was never
God.
invited to a family ceremony. I never saw them again.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. How do you have closure with something like that? Like for you, did it ever feel like you got closure?
No, I still think I randomly see him occasionally, which is horrifying. But I mean, I did run into one of his best friends, and he kind of had some of the same emotional trauma. Like, they didn't invite him to any kind of service or anything either. And like, they had been friends since 5 or 6 years old. So, like, he was struggling pretty hard with it too, going like, it doesn't even feel like he's gone. So,
Right.
yeah. Like,
I
and the same thing now. So my brother-in-law passed away suddenly in January, and I've been over to my sister's multiple times since then, and I've told her, I said, I don't really feel like he's gone because he worked a lot or he was on business trips. So there was quite often when I'd be over to visit and he wouldn't be there because he was just off wherever and he'd be home later or whatever. So it's like, I know he's gone, but it still kind of doesn't feel like he's gone. So yeah, it's very odd and unsettling at the same time.
And I think that's why it's so important to have that ceremony of burial or gathering or something because we lost Alex's mom at the beginning of COVID and there was no funeral. There was nothing, there was no gathering. And it's the same thing. It feels very open-ended.
Yeah.
Like nothing was there to mark the end of that chapter and there's no rite of passage. And it's a weird feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, like we ended up having a celebration of life for my brother-in-law, and it was held totally in his style. It was at one of the neighborhood bars. We lost track of how many people were there that night. I think we counted well over 400.
oh
So,
wow.
like, it was absolutely insane. But he was a guy where, and I mean, it's Transcona and Winnipeg, it's a small little town. So, guys that he went to elementary school with, or he's played hockey with, junior high, whatever, like people from when he was a child, he still kept in touch with. So, and they were all still friends. They all still lived in the same area. And it was just like, what is going on right now? Like, this is insane. All of these people are here. But I mean, touching that he touched so many people's lives and they came out to support us and whatever and reminisce over all the good times and the stories and everything else and the character that he was. So, gave us a little something to do.
So how are you with grief? Like do you feel like you grieve properly? I don't.
No, not at all. I feel like I kind of just like shut a door and that's it. I just try to disassociate from it. I don't handle it well at all and process it, which is probably evident by how devastated I was when I had to put my last cat down. Like, and I mean, that one was sudden, like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that was brutal. But like, I flew into Winnipeg on a Friday. The flight home didn't leave until Sunday. I didn't get out of bed at the hotel until I had to go to the airport. And then I got home and I stayed in bed for another 3 days. I was just like, I can't go to work right now. I'm an absolute nightmare. So the other ones, it was just like, okay, nope, flip the switch, continue on and power through with what you have to get done. So like the occasional one will hit me like a ton of bricks and then everything just falls out of my face. The other ones is just like, nope, we can't deal with this right now. We're just gonna stay distracted with other stuff and continue on and deal with it later.
Yeah,
Whether I actually do or not, I don't know. But
well, a fiance, pets, these are people and creatures that are with you every single day.
yeah,
And that is a huge chunk of your heart that's cut out suddenly. Like that's a lot harder than, let's say, your cousin or your brother-in-law. Yeah, it hurts when your brother-in-law dies, but it's not, there isn't this daily tie. And
yeah,
obviously for your sister, a I'm assuming your heart goes out to your sister more than anything, or her kids too, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah. It was tough. And especially being so far away from them when it happened, it was just like, what do you need? I can pack a bag and be on the road. And she just said, like, no, don't come right now. Like, there's nothing that you can do. Don't come. Which was even more devastating because I'm just like, oh my God, you need me. Maybe you need me. I don't know. I feel like I should be doing something. And you're telling me to stay where I am. And I'm like, I literally don't know what to do right now. So I ended up going down the following week because I was already flying down for a medical trip. And it was just like, okay, I'm coming early. I will be there for whatever you need. If you just need like distraction, apparently I'm a great distraction. Imagine that. So I was like, let's just go do normal people stuff and get iced coffees and go to IKEA or like whatever it is that you want to do just to have a moment of normalcy. Let's go and do that. And then whatever else
Can
you
I,
need, you let me know.
can I offer that there is no wrong way to grieve and that however you grieve is the way you're supposed to, and that if you're really good at distracting yourself for some of these, then maybe that's your superpower. And with other people too, like you said, I'm the perfect person to distract you. So
Yeah.
how it is how it is. And there's this grief is one of those things where there's just no right way to deal with it.
Yeah. Like I heard it described as like some days it's a wave or it was in about there was some poignant thing and it was just like some days it's a trickle in a creek and other days it's an ocean and a tsunami coming at me and we just ride it out and tomorrow it'll change. And
Yeah,
that's
for me,
basically what it
for
is.
me, it's just this like never-ending like trickle, these drops, and there's just like random horrific pain. It's like, oh God, okay, I got to distract myself from that. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated watching my kids when my mom died because they were very close to my mom. That one night they were together in Alora's room, and they were just wailing. They were just sobbing and wailing. And as a dad, it's just like, oh my God, I have to save you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Kati just I think you basically told me not to go in there. Just let them
Get it
do
out.
what they need to do. And man, they just wailed all night.
Yeah.
And you know what? They were much better the next day. They just like let it all out. And I'm like, wow, that's probably what I should do. But I don't know. I just can't I just can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And occasionally it's like, I just got to get it all out now. But at the same time, for you, it's probably like more task focused. And you're like, okay, this has happened. There's so many things that we have to do now.
Yeah.
And then you just start going down the list, right? A little different for kids.
Yeah. I feel like when my dad dies, that'll be weird because I'll have no parents. I mean, my heart goes out to anybody who has no parents. It's so bizarre
Yeah.
losing your mom. But I feel like when my dad dies, we're gonna do this 2 for 1, and do like, acknowledge my mom and him at the same time
Yeah.
because he won't be able to get in my way and stop me
Yeah.
from doing it.
Yeah. Well, and because you didn't have anything for your mom, it would be nice for the family to have something for her as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's man, it's yeah. How did we get Christy? This is your fault. We're talking
You
I mean,
about
you
asked me the
asked her.
question.
I did.
You
I
you
know.
asked her.
I'm doing a great job of not making jokes because my defense is when it gets like this, I have to say something stupid. Uh,
Distraction.
I have
Exactly.
I have not done that yet. I'm very proud of myself, and I can see Kati's just like golf clapping for me. Like, you're
Yeah.
you're maturing
I
into a
am.
real boy.
Yeah. I mean, we did discuss that my last episode was the joy, and then we would look at this being the shit that we went through to get to the sunshine. So, I mean, I told you I was open for it.
Hmm.
So, you want to come out
100%.
swinging?
So now we need to connect the dots from that was a really horrible, horrible moment.
Yeah.
It's not just grief, but that you've lost love very in a really, I mean, I want to say suddenly, but it feels like that last 6 months probably didn't feel like it
No.
would probably must have gone on for a very long time.
Yeah.
So how do you look for love again after that? Like, is there some subconscious thinking that I had love and it was taken away and I'm not going to trust it again?
Oh, yeah. That lasted for a long time. Like, it was probably a good 5 years. And I was just like, I'm not even attempting this. It's too risky. I don't want to feel that again. I'm not doing it.
Were you
So,
worried? Like, did you feel like you were betraying him?
I don't think so. Like we had had discussions and he had said very openly like I want you to go find someone that makes you happy. Like he was very open about it. So that kind of permission, I guess, was already in
Mm,
place. So, and he had told even like some of our neighbors that like he just wanted me to be happy and move on.
that's really
So,
nice. I would say
yeah.
the younger version of me wanted Kati to just be a hermit. Just like if I'm gone, I'm okay with you not being happy. Just like mourn for me for the rest of your life.
Oh
And
yeah.
now
Okay,
We're
with
all
you not
blacks
being
forever.
happy.
and now the mature version of me who really loves my wife knows that her happiness going forward is actually way more important than her missing me every single day of her life as if
Yeah.
it's some, tribute to me. And man, so what happens in the next year or two? Because I feel like this is actually traumatic. This is actually a really traumatic thing that you're cut out. You don't get to actually have your goodbye or the family just basically stonewalls you. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with that going forward?
That was one of those just flip the switch and stop thinking about it and try and figure out how to go day by day. Like, how do you keep living at this point? And I mean, there's nothing that I could have done to change it at that point. Like, his family's not gonna flip a switch and go, "Oh my God, we've missed you so much. Welcome back to the family." Like, that's not happening. So it's kind of like just letting go of the pressure of it all. And it's just like, I can't do anything in this situation. So how do I make the best out of this and move on? So that's what I did. And of course, as normal, I throw myself into work and distract myself.
Hmm.
And then it was over 5 years down the line, and I was like, wow, am I lonely? Because now I'm like 30, whatever, two or whatever I was at the time. And I was like, I can't sit at home every night and just play with my cat as much as I love to, but there's got to be something a little more to it.
Right?
Like,
I
I
mean,
got
it's
to get
a
out and start living again.
couple nights a week. It's pretty good, but
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy hanging out with my cat. They were awesome.
cats
Whatever,
are
better
amazing.
than some people that I've met. But
I would say that you have done well. Me looking from the outside, I think that you've done such a good job of being a part of multiple communities and doing all sorts of different activities. And then I look at myself, I'm like, oh, I would say when we watch you, you're like, oh wow, you're like throwing axes, you're doing this, you're getting tattoos in New Orleans. Like you're living a very full life.
yeah. And part of it, after my fiance had passed, was the distraction. And it was like, if I'm at home, I'm going to be sad and upset. But if I'm out doing something, well, now I don't have time to be at home and upset.
Hmm.
So I, for a while, overcommitted myself to all kinds of things. And I had a friend one time, I remember, she's like, hey, I want to hang out with you. Like, what day do you have free? And I went, 3 weeks from this coming Thursday, I have an open night. And it was like, maybe I've overcommitted a little bit. Like, if I have a headache, I'm screwed because I can't even, there's so much going on that I don't have an opening in my life.
Oh, okay.
So
So
then
so
it was like,
the pendulum swings completely the opposite way
yeah,
then.
so I had to start like reeling it back in and go like, I need to stop committing to so much. I mean, I did enjoy it, like my axe league, my dodgeball league, like all of the things that I was doing, like I was having a great time, but I was basically just exhausting myself to the point where I made sure that I wasn't home alone to just wallow in the pity.
Hmm.
So what happens next then for Kristi? So she's 32, 33, out and about, overcommitted. How did you find balance and how did you get to a place where you're open to love again?
Um, I think it was just the fact that I realized that I was actually lonely and I was looking for some kind of companionship. And I ended up finding it with someone that I'd actually been friends with and I knew from a number of years before. Um, Great guy. Like I will never fault him for that. It didn't work between us. We were together for 5 years. We just he was what I needed at the time. But after a while it was just like this just isn't for me. We're trying to go down two different paths and it wasn't working. So after a while I had to let that one go. So I did love him. He wasn't very open with feelings and he was very closed off that way. Which was a struggle because I'm very open. But I do remember one time I had told him that I loved him and his response was, what would you want to do something like that for? And I was like,
Well, I
I
would
will
say
never
that
say it
says
again.
more about maybe that says
Him,
more about
yes.
him and if he's worthy of love.
Yeah. So I never said it to him again in a
Oh,
5 year relationship. That was it. And yeah, so it was just like I'm out living my life. I would say, hey, I want to go do XYZ. Do you want to go do that with me? No. I'd be like, oh, okay. And then I would move on down my list of like friends that I would ask to go do things with. And I finally realized like I want to go make memories with my partner, not with other people. So it was like I had to let that one go because this was not how I wanted to live the rest of my life.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that one was kind of like a gradual break off down towards the end. It just kind of like sloped, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't doing it. So that one wasn't so hard to deal with. It was just the break in the routine that was tough because it was always like good morning messages, text during the day, good nights, what like, and then just the cutoff. That one was hard to deal with, as it is for anybody, obviously. But um, I mean, we moved on. We got through it. So there was a bit of a string of shitty men after that. I'm not gonna lie, the
There's
dating world
plenty
is
of those.
not
There's plenty of
kind.
those.
Yeah, it's not great. Um, After that, I ended up with a guy for about 2 years that worked out of town. He was from Alberta, and he worked out near like Miami, Holland area on a project, which is how we met. Um, and it was like every couple of weeks he'd come into the city, we'd spend a night at the hotel, go out for dinners, kind of date night stuff. And then he got transferred to Vancouver for the next project. And then I don't remember what was going on, but we didn't see each other for about 10 months.
Oh
Like it
well.
was a
Oh,
long gap. Like phone calls and stuff, still constant, text messages, whatever. Like communication was there. And I flew out one weekend to go see him. Great weekend, like went touring around, dinners, whatever, had a great time. And then I think it was right at the beginning of COVID when airports and stuff were starting to shut down. So I had like just made it back kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, I want to say that was like September maybe. And the last time I ever heard from him was November, and he was like, "Hey, I'm just cleaning the condo, blah blah blah. Picking up my daughter from the airport later." And I never heard from him again. Just
wow.
after 2 years, he just vanished. I don't know if he's alive or dead. I have no clue. If he is, he's somewhere west of here. I don't know. He never responded to anything.
Oh,
So
weird.
that was tough. It was like, he'd always told me like, "Oh, I'm kind of an asshole." And I was like, "But you never were to me." And that was the point. And now I'm
Hmm.
like, "And now you are." So I just wanted some kind of closure on that one. Like, what happened? Like, that would have been really nice to know.
It feels like you were in relationships where the other person didn't do the work on themselves, which is going to be self-destructive and it's going to take the relationship out. It didn't take you out. You got up and, however, I'm wondering if you not doing some of the self-work is going to hinder any relationship going forward.
It probably has. Like, I do not trust very easily at this point. Like, like I said, there's been a string of shitty men, and it's been like up until a week and a half ago. Like, I keep trying, and my cousin even says to me, because her and I talk quite regularly, she's like, "God bless you for still trying and putting yourself out there." Because she's like, "I would have given up long ago." And she has, kind of thing. Like, it's just like, it's not worth it. But every now and then I give it a shot and try and give somebody a chance, and it just goes down in flames. So, like, I'd been talking to a guy. Granted, he didn't live near me, whatever, but we both worked weird schedules and we had very open talks about, like, if we dated, what would this look like? Because of the differences and whatever. And very open that way. And just something didn't feel right. Maybe it was me just being non-trusting. I don't know. But God bless the Facebook groups of "Are we dating the same guy in whatever province or whatever?" Because I posted him and I was like, "Is anybody else talking to this guy?" Three other women came up and said, "Yeah, we're all talking to him. He's told all of us that we're the only person that he's talking to." And then somebody posted a screenshot that he was put up on the Edmonton group because he had just recently moved from there. And they basically called him Edmonton's Tinder swindler
Oh
because
wow.
he has a roster of women and will spend his time with whoever's willing to spend the most money on him. So I was like, I'm out. And then just last week, so like not that long ago, um, another lady came forward and said, "Oh my God, I'm on a getaway with him right now."
Oh no.
So I just went, "Well, that's awkward." Because, like, what do you say to that? I don't know.
Right?
Like I was in
Fun.
Winnipeg at the time. I'm like, I can't even help you. Like I'm 8 hours from where you guys are. Like if you needed help to get out, like I couldn't even come help you. Um, so I don't know whatever happened there, but something must have happened because as I was driving home on Saturday, my phone rang and it was him. And we hadn't spoken in like almost 2 weeks at that point in time.
Oh, his ears were burning.
And it must something was burning, but it rang twice. I answered it and he hung up. So I didn't even talk to him. And it was just like, did you F up and hit the dial button when you meant to like delete my contact info or something? So I waited a little bit and then I was like, now I'm curious. So I texted him and I was like, hey, I've been in and out of cell signal all day. Saw that you called. What's up? No response.
That's better, though. That's better.
Yeah. So it was just like, boy, I was ready to just like rip a strip of you, but if you want to just take yourself out, that's all right too. The garbage can take itself to the curb.
I'm trying to put the common denominator together here. Number one, I would say mega traumatic things. Mega. So you being shy with your heart, I don't know if anybody, like, you would not be normal if you weren't
Yeah.
shy.
I don't think
And
anybody is at this point.
yeah, I mean, that's tough. Man, the lack of closure is traumatic as well. And that seems to be a repeated pattern too. It's like, man, how do you, yeah. I mean, we have to point at the elephant in order to destroy it
Yeah.
and then get rid of it and then move on to the next thing. And
Yeah.
it's like, and obviously you are not in a big dating pool in Gillum. Gillum is very, for everybody who hasn't listened to the first episode, Christie's in a town of what, 2,000 people max?
Oh no, it's less than 1,000.
What? It's less than 1,000 now?
Yep.
Okay. So we got some work to do.
We need to repopulate.
Yes. The dating pool is very shallow, and God forbid he screws up. There's not too many places he can go.
No, and
Or if
everybody's
you
gonna know
screw
about
up,
it.
Christy, maybe it's you.
Well, I mean, there's no secrets in this town, so anything that happens, everybody's gonna know instantly, right? So, and they would all be my coworkers, whatever, our coworkers or whatever. So, I mean, most of this town is trainees. It's like I'm gonna end up being Mrs. Robinson over here because they're gonna be half my age for the most part. And I'm
Hmm.
like, huh, you're cute and fun. I don't want to teach you how to do all of this.
Right.
You know?
I
Like,
was so paranoid when we lived in Gillum that our phone was tapped, and I was actually scared that people would know when I was like phoning down south and talking to my parents, or I was always scared that somebody was tapping my phone and
yeah.
people knew my business back. And now you're on a podcast and you're super famous, and you just
Throwing
so
it all out there.
it's like, wow, now you can make up all the rumors you want. There was a rumor that I was Jewish in Gillum.
Interesting.
Yes, I actually said that I was Jewish to a guy because I didn't understand what he said.
Yeah, that
I
rumor
did.
was your fault, dear.
Yeah, I just said
Okay.
he was mumbling something, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. The next thing you know, I'm Jewish, and everybody's like awkwardly having Christmas around me. I'm like, what is going on here? So
Okay,
how do
that's
you
fine.
celebrate within your culture? I'm like,
Uh,
what are you talking about? I have a
yeah.
Christmas tree and I have a turkey. What do you want?
Oh my God, I'm sending you like dreidels and menorahs from now on.
Do
Yes,
it.
I was Jewish Alex for one Christmas, and I was the only Jewish guy in all of Gillum.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yes, yes, it's a true
I want to
story.
bring it back to the common denominator, dear, since you're making all these jokes as you normally do when you're a little bit too
Awkward.
stressed about how you're feeling.
Just
It's
telling Chris,
awkward and there's emotions. Let's deflect.
I'm
Right?
telling Christy some stories about me that will help.
We're sharing. Sharing is
Sharing.
caring.
Sharing, yeah. I feel like what was the first thing you said? The trauma. Hell's to the yes for that. But how much of it is self-worth issue? Like when you're looking for somebody and this person is going to reflect back to you what you actually need in order to grow and expand and move beyond your traumas. Like what are you looking for?
Honesty and loyalty. Like that's the kicker. Like, and I don't know if it's because of the Facebook groups, whatever, but it's just like a constant barrage of just like, this is my husband. He's been working in Winnipeg. He was cheating on me. I figured I'd get more information from anybody that was talking to him. Whatever. And it's just like a slew of men that are sleeping with multiple women, lying to people, whatever. And it's just like, oh my God, if I can't trust you in the same city that I live in, how would I trust you being like 12 hours away? So trying to trust anybody has been a huge issue. And it's just, I don't know if there's people out there that are actually honest anymore, like about anything to this point. Like, it's just so easy to type it in a message and send it off and move on that it's like,
Hmm.
are you actually for real? Like, how do you expect to have anything genuine if it's just all based on garbage?
It's hard to be genuine when everything is done online. It's done digitally. Like you
Yeah.
are not in a situation where this person is in front of you and you're able to have these deep conversations, but not just the conversations, but being like the feeling of who this person is in your aura. Like there has to be that feeling,
Yeah.
you
Like,
know?
there's
So
got to
then
be some spark, some connection, something that draws you together. And it's like, yeah, you're great on paper, but you could be a complete wiener in person.
Hmm.
Like, I get it. I probably sound really cool over a text, and then you talk to me, and it's just like, who's the cartoon on this phone call? Whatever. I get it. And I've even talked to like vendors and suppliers that I work with because I usually talk to them on the phone or emails. And I've become friends with a few of them. And I've asked them at some point, I'm just like, when you met me for the first time, is this what you pictured? And they're like, oh God, no. So it's just like my voice doesn't match the in-person part of what you get, the picture in your mind of what that person would look like when you talk to them. So it's just like there's a disconnect there. I'm like, I get it, but also I feel like part of me like you have to be in person with me to kind of understand. Because like I text as I talk. So like every time I type LOL, well, it's not just a habit. I'm probably giggling at the same time because I'm a fool like that and I do it too much. Whatever. But
I,
yeah.
I was going to say, I think one of the biggest problems nowadays is that, man, there's a lot of problems, but um, how do I want to say this? Men are not the greatest, and I'm hoping that we can turn the table because I would say that most men, I'm taking this a little bit away from you, Christy,
Okay, go
that
ahead.
most men are in relationships that they shouldn't be in. They're probably with the wrong people, and I think most men are suffering, and if they go out and they're cheating, they're actually not making their life any better. They're
Mm,
making they're cleaning their mess with a mess.
yep.
I think most men are too cowardly to cut off from a bad situation, a bad relationship, and then go look for something better. I think that it goes on both sides. I think that there's self worth on a lot of people's sides right now, and I would say that if there's anything I hope for Kristi Arbuckle is that her self worth is so high that she would never be with anybody that she didn't deserve to be with.
I'm working on it. Probably why I'm still single.
Good. I would
Because,
rather you be single than with the wrong person
yeah.
and
Because,
just
like,
killing time.
honestly, like, at this point, I am a powerful personality, I guess you would say. Like, I blurt stupid shit out constantly. And, like I said in the last episode, I need to learn to shut my mouth sometimes. But apparently I don't have that ability. Um, so there's stuff that I will say, and I don't say it to be rude, but it's one of those like, I didn't call you stupid, but you need to know that you are being stupid. Like one of those things. It's like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you've crossed a boundary and a line, and I'm going to tell you that that's inappropriate.
Hmm.
And if it upsets you, then either change or GTFO. Like I've set the line. Like,
Well, we're also living in a really weird time where men's minds are being completely poisoned. There's pornography, there's easy access to all these dating apps, all this crap, OnlyFans, whatever. These are all things meant to basically poison a man's soul and make him completely useless to
not
actual
only men,
people, to
women as
actual
well.
sure. But I'm just saying that as a man, one of my passions would be to right this wrong because whatever society is doing, it's doing it on purpose. And we listen to stories like yours, and it's like, where's all the good men? Well, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
They're being completely poisoned. And is it their fault? I guess technically yes, we all have free will, but we are all up against this gross system that's like pushing fakeness and fake people and just yeah, like why is that such a hard ask? Honesty, integrity, loyalty. When I met Ketsy, that's all I wanted was just somebody that was loyal to me.
Yeah.
That was my number one. And the rest I'll take care of because I'm gonna make it so that I don't take you for granted and that you know that, I appreciate you and I mean I'm gonna earn your loyalty. I'm gonna earn it. I'm not just gonna treat you like crap and expect you to be loyal.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
But I
me.
will say too that it's not just, I mean, when you and I met, there was not this war on the masculine the way it is now. They have demasculined men to a point where they're very confused and living amongst all these betas. And I think that it's not that they're lacking the courage to leave, but they're just so fucking confused, And it's hard now for a man to step even a little bit outside of that realm because he's attacked. It's the pendulum has swung too far the other way.
I think a lot of that too is that we get too comfortable being online and sort of the social interactions have started to lack. So, like, I don't have an issue going and talking to random people because it's part of what I do. But, like, nobody ever approaches me and, like, for a man to come up to me and just start talking. And granted, I don't pick up when people are flirting with me because I never interpret it as flirting because apparently I'm just friendly and I talk to anybody. But it's like there's no just like meet cute at the grocery store and like, hey, do you want to go grab a drink later? It's I don't know if it's too much fear of the rejection or like, is this lady gonna freak out and scream that I'm trying to rape her just because I'm talking to her? Like, I don't know what it is, but there's no person on person like meeting anymore. It's I'll just scroll the catalog and
Yeah,
come up with
it's like
something.
destiny's been erased.
Yeah, basically.
It's weird.
Yeah. Like I've talked about like fates a couple of times in the last couple of weeks because like even for my motorcycle, well when I talked to the sales guy, he says, "Oh, because of the tariffs, anything that hadn't shipped already, they're not coming." So I was like, "Oh crap, the bike I wanted, it's not coming." So I was like, "Well, you know what? I'll come and see you when I come down to Winnipeg anyway and we can talk and maybe we'll go look at that 2024 that's on the floor and whatever." And well, by the time I got there, the bike that I wanted was on the website and I went, "Does that mean it's here?" And he goes, "Yeah, it showed up on Friday. The guys are building it in the back right now." So it was like, I was fully prepared that like fate said, nope, I wasn't supposed to do this. And that's why it wasn't here. And then it showed up 2 days before I drove to the city and was being built the day that I was there. So I was like, I get it, fates. Thank you. I'm spending a lot of money right now. But yeah, there's just some things where it's, and then even Saturday. So on the way home, the global cat distribution system has been in full effect, and multiple times since November. Um, an offer has been put forward to me with a kitten or something like, hey, you should go and adopt this cat. And I'd be like, I don't think I'm ready. This is not the time. Saturday, the same thing. A lady that I know got a hold of me due to allergies. I think I need to surrender my cat, and I know that you love cats and you would take really good care of her, and I'd like to know if you would take her in. So I was like, holy crap, like, I wasn't really thinking of this. Like, can you give me some details? Maybe a picture. I don't mind a cat picture every now and then. And then I ended up thinking about it like the whole rest of my drive. And the next afternoon I messaged her and I was like, so I wasn't looking to bring a new kid into my life, but I would be willing to foster her temporarily and we could work with the rescue and see if we could find her like a permanent home. Like, I am traveling a lot right now, so it's not a great time, but she can absolutely come and stay with me. I don't have an issue with that. And she says, you know what? I'm going to hold off. I panicked and I'm going to keep her for a little while longer and get some other allergy tests done. So I was like, okay, the fates have spoken. It is not my time to have another furry kid. I get it. So it's like that's how I'm kind of living with things right now. It's like if it's not put in front of me and meant to be, then take it back. I'm fine. Whatever. So fates have just worked their mysterious little ways lately.
Going with the flow. I
Yeah.
like that strategy.
Yeah. I'm
Go
not
with the
trying to
flow,
force anything.
but also, I mean, you asked for the bike. So some part of you has to put in the request
Yeah.
in order and the timing, fine, let that go.
Yeah.
Right? And the I mean, yes, be in the flow, but still ask for it. That's why I want to know, what are you looking for? Like, it can't just be like, you need to envision the way he smells and the way he feels and how he makes you feel, and
Yeah.
do the whole entire immersive, imaginative work, because all you have to do is ask.
Yeah. Like, and I know there's like a rough silhouette of that man in my brain. What the details look like, I don't know. But like he's out there somewhere, some point. I just don't know where he is at the moment. But we'll find him. But like it's not even anything crazy. Like he doesn't have to be like a Jason Momoa. I wouldn't turn him down. But the likelihood of that happening, slim to none. So I get it. Okay. So like he's gonna, and this is gonna be so, oh, I'm gonna hate myself for saying this. He's gonna be the little bit bigger than me, the kind of alpha protective guy, right? Like a bit of a burly man's man. He doesn't have to be super in touch with his feelings, but like I want to feel protected and safe, and that he's gonna get the thing off of the top shelf for me because I'm too short, right? Like that kind of thing. And it's like I know he's always got my back. I don't need to ever question where he is or who he's with. Like that's it's the whole thing. Like he's got to make me feel secure that I know that that's mine. And there's nothing that's going to change that. And I give him the exact same thing. Like, my dedication is there. I might be gone on a trip. And because with the union stuff, the majority is men. But those are my brothers. And we don't play that way. Like, if you are my guy, that is it. I'm not thinking about anybody else because I don't see them that way. And I've always been like that. But that seems to be a very rare thing to find in return. That it's like, I don't have to worry about you when you're not around.
I love it. I love that description so much. I want that man for you so badly. And I love that. I mean, the thing, and this is the definition of what a man is in a relationship, is creating safe space. That is Alex's job for me, to be able to express and create and be the woman I am. He has to show up with the grounding and with the safe space.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be something that you have to ask for. That is just something that a man is meant to do for you. That's what you deserve, just being alive and breathing.
I love the idea of him being, and I pictured him being this alpha and so confident that he doesn't need other women's adoration to boost his self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's like he doesn't need that. He just needs one person's adoration,
I
and
kind of
that's it.
picture him to be like the Rip Wheeler from Yellowstone. And it was like, yeah, the chick at the bar is hitting on him, but he's sitting there staring at his wife across the room, right? And he's just like, you need to get out of here because she's going to whoop your ass right away. Like one of those things, right? And it's just like, that's what it is.
That actually happened to me in Gillum one time. I was at the bar getting some drinks, and this girl was a little bit hammered, and she's like whispering in my ear and talking to me, and I'm looking at my wife, and in my mind, I'm like, "You don't know how close you are to death right now." Like, let me just
Yeah.
go with these drinks back to my wife. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And Kathy knows what I'm talking about. I remember I felt like these laser beams, like they were supposed to cut through her soul, but they were actually cutting through me.
Yeah. Slight misdirection. Yeah.
She was pretty hammered. She had no idea what was going on. She had no clue that she was that close to being killed by a grizzly bear.
Yeah. So,
You
yeah,
know what?
like,
When you were describing that man, the picture that came to my mind was from Little House on the Prairie, Michael Landon's best friend. I can't remember what his name was,
Oh
right? But
yeah, yeah, I like
he
that
was
guy.
like a beautiful bear of a man. Like, if you looked him up, and if you even just watched an episode with him in it, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly it. Like, he is a man's man, and loving and protective and strong. Like,
yeah.
I want it for you so bad.
I would want that for me too.
Yeah, because like over the years, like, and I mean, I've listened to some of the stuff that you guys have done and talked about love languages and stuff, and I don't think I had known about love languages before we had had a conversation about it. And so, like, I've looked into it and whatever, and I'm like, I get it. I know what my love languages are. They're very strongly out there, and it's just like physical touch and quality time. Those are my top two.
That's great.
Granted, like a long distance, obviously physical touch isn't gonna be the top one because there's distance there. But like, even if the quality time is a phone call, like that's still counted. Like with the guy that was across the country, he would still call me when he was driving, and we would talk for at least an hour a day. I was like, that was huge. Like it didn't even have to be about anything in particular. It was just being there. So he's out there somewhere. I just don't know if I ever find him in Gillum.
Well,
Probably not.
this is a thing. This
The
is a thing.
universe
Maybe it's,
works in mysterious ways, though.
Yeah.
but
I
maybe you
mean,
find him in your travels and maybe he doesn't have roots and maybe he's happy to move up to Gillum for you,
maybe. I
right?
guess we'll see.
Or maybe he rips you out of there and takes you to the jungle and
Whisks me away
into a tree house, and you guys live happily ever after.
like Tarzan and Jane.
Yes, invite
Yes.
me. I don't mind visiting. It sounds wonderful
Welcome,
there.
welcome for a sleepover in my treehouse, Alex.
Yeah, listening to the
Be careful,
monkeys.
he's coming for your man.
He just wants all the hugging, the burly man hugs.
Yeah. Look at all these bananas.
That wouldn't have worked.
Good Lord.
Oh man, what, Kristi? You are the best.
I tried. We really detoured down a rabbit hole on that one. Sorry.
No,
I don't
that-
know if you
that-
had other questions for me.
That is the rabbit hole that we needed to go down because it's we touched on a lot of things that I really want to touch on accidentally. Grief is something that I want to talk more about on this podcast. I want to talk about the problems that all of us are facing in relationships and men and the way society is kind of set up that if we could go back to the 90s and kind of live that pure, where you meet by destiny or your friends introduce you to somebody,
Yeah.
and or your parents, or even the weirdness of your parents, like, oh, we know this, our friends, they have a son, boom, we think
Yeah,
you'd like it.
married kid.
Yeah, even that kind of thing. It's I feel like we're so removed from the magic of just those are the people that love us the most helping us find people that they think would be good for us. I think,
So
matchmakers.
here's the ironic twist on this.
Okay.
You're gonna love this. I have set up two of my friends,
Oh,
both married now with kids. And this is two separate couples, not just like I took two friends and I put them together. Two separate couples. One
That's
was a
amazing.
fluke because she was like, "Oh, look at that cute guy at the end of the bar. I'd sure like to meet him." Well, Kristi had a couple drinks in her and had no fear. So I saddled on up there to the bar and I went like shoulder to shoulder and did the old, "Hey, I'm Kristi. What's your name?" I won't say his name because I don't want to embarrass them in this podcast. But he's like, "Oh, my name is Dave." Whatever. And so I shook his hand. I was like, "Dave, this is my friend Sandra. You two should talk." And I dipped and squeezed them together. They're now married with two kids, which is super great. And then, so the other one was one of my girlfriends from high school. So the first friend that got married, she always liked to be like, "Hey, do you know anybody that we could set so and so up with?" And I was like, "As a matter of fact, I do." So he was a coworker of mine. And we set those two up. I was best man at their wedding. And they have now been
Wow.
married a number of years and have a child and whatever. And it's like, so I've actually made a comment in my wedding speech, and I was like, "You guys always ask me to set up other people. I'm the only single one left, guys. Get on it." Still single, like 7 or 8 years later. So it's just like, I'm apparently great at this for other people. I suck at this for myself.
Oh,
So it's entertaining that way.
you need a Kristi Arbuckle.
I do. But God help us if they ever had a second one of me. I can't even imagine what the world would be like.
So your sister's nothing like you then.
No, she's really not. Although ironically, back in the summer, I was with one of my girlfriends and we were at my parents' place and my sister had stopped by to drop something off. And so we were kind of standing in the backyard just chatting away. And my friend looks at me and she's like, "It's like you're talking, but it's coming out of her mouth." So it's like there are similarities apparently, but all the physical stuff, no. Like she's much smaller, very thin, super curly hair. I'm taller, broader, poker straight hair. Or like Yeah, there's a lot of differences between us, but apparently we sound the same, and it's very odd.
That's a different podcast where we find out who your real dad is.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. The
You know,
milkman. Yeah.
you know what I think would be interesting? So I would like you to tell me about Kristi Arbuckle as if you're setting her up with somebody. What does that sound like?
Oh,
I would.
pitching
I
yourself.
want to hear your pitch.
That is tough because like there's so many facets to it. Like super dedicated to my work and my extra stuff and just like fun loving and adventurous and funny. Like I'm the stand-up comedian all the time. I don't have an issue making an ass out of myself in front of people, but then yet I don't like to make a speech because I don't like to be the focus of attention. Like it doesn't make sense. So it's I don't even know, but like just so genuine and fun and deserving of someone that is the same that would treat me right, really. Like it's not asking for the moon.
Yeah, I think that you should write it down. I think you should write it down and then just kind of revisit, and then the next time someone asks you for your pitch, you know.
I've actually thought in the past about having like a friend write like a dating profile for me because it's like obviously whatever I'm writing isn't working. So it's like, please just write me something.
I'll do it. I can do it.
Okay. It's a deal.
And I'm going to take all the credit.
Okay.
I'll take all the credit. But then in return, when I die, you have to like read like this great eulogy about me and basically
Okay.
dedicate your whole life to me.
The remainder of my life will be to the Alex Paul's Memorial Society.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're assuming that you outlive me, but
Possibly. I mean, I drive a motorcycle, so maybe not.
I mean, so does he. So,
I mean, you've ridden around Winnipeg though, so you get it.
oh, that's true.
Winnipeg is super sketchy. I would never ride a motorcycle there.
I even panic in my truck when I'm down there.
Right? Oh
Like,
my
I'm
God.
so big, don't come into my lane. Yeah, and I mean, I'm up here where there's only stop signs. Like, I've been driving down Portage Avenue in Winnipeg, and I'm like, oh shit, traffic lights. Okay. And I'm like, oh God, I kind of forgot about it.
And there's parts of the road missing. You're gonna like die.
Oh, yeah. You're
Just fall in a
swerving
pit.
everywhere. Yeah, you just look like you're drunk, and it's 2 in the afternoon on the way to the grocery store.
Yeah. No, you need to move here. It's way better. It's way better.
I know. But it doesn't pay as well for me for what I do right now.
Think that I can ask her the question left
Ask
by
her
the
the
last
question.
person.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that the other day Emma comes home from school. She's like, "Make me some food, woman." I'm like, "Excuse me."
To your room, child.
So thanks, dear.
Emma's a comedian.
She is pretty funny. I love both those kids. They're just absolute
know,
characters.
yes.
They're fun.
You have to spend
Alright.
extra time with us this summer.
Yeah.
Somehow we'll figure it out.
So the question for you is, if you could be a superhero and have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, I love that question for Chrissy. It's always the perfect question for the perfect person. Isn't that awesome?
It is.
What would it be? I mean, I don't want like invisibility or something stupid because I don't really see that benefiting me. I think if anything, I would want to be. This is so dumb. I envision. This is absolutely terrible, and I don't know why it popped into my mind. I pictured Mel Gibson in What Women Want. And I'm like, I would like the ability to hear people's thoughts.
Oh God, that sounds like a curse.
I mean, selectively, maybe I could tune up, but
Yeah,
like
filter.
the
Yeah.
image of like the little dog going, Monsieur, I have to poop. That was the first thing that popped into my head. Um, that's probably shouldn't have been what it was, but like and the topic we were just talking about, like people are not genuine and they just lie so freely now. Like I would like to know, are you feeding me a line of shit
Oh man.
so that I can react appropriately or inappropriately, however it needs to be. I think that would be mine.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna say this, Christy.
Okay.
What is the scariest voice you've ever heard? It's your own voice in your own head saying it crazy shit about yourself. Can you
Okay.
imagine hearing other people talk shit about themselves? Like, oh my God, you're not actually saying that about you, are you? It sounds like a nightmare.
I mean, I've said some pretty terrible things, but I mean, I don't have a filter a lot of time either. So it doesn't pass through the brain before it falls out the mouth. So I mean, I've probably and somebody has said something like, "I'm sorry, that was super mean." And I was like, "You know what? I've said way worse about myself. So if you say it,
Right.
it doesn't hurt as bad, right? It's just, yeah, like I've said some absolutely horrible things about myself in my head. But I mean, there's been ups and downs in the self-confidence, right? And
Sure,
it's
yeah.
like you dip every now and then, and
I think
yeah.
we are our own worst critics, all of us.
Oh, absolutely. Because you always have that sensitivity about like, oh, my stomach or like my legs jiggle. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be physical things. Those are just the ones that popped in my head. But yeah, like, you know what the hot button is for the insult, and it's immediately where you go.
Oh yeah.
So,
I don't like it when people think I'm dumb. That makes me mad.
yeah.
I know I'm not the smartest, sharpest knife in the drawer, but come on.
Except that you are very smart, and usually you think that you're dumb, not the other people. That's just your perception of what they're thinking, and that's totally incorrect.
Oh, maybe, yeah. But
And it could be on certain topics as well.
oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend I know everything about everything. I did want to say though, Christy, I think it would be fascinating to be able to read my cat's mind or my dog's mind. I think that would be hilariously entertaining.
Oh, I think it would. Because Bear would just be like, WTF, man? Like, I'm telling you, I want my treats. Or whatever. It's like, no,
Right.
I don't want ball right now. Like, leave me alone. He would tell you off constantly.
Dogs are just simpletons. Cats, I feel cats are way smarter, and then the dog is just like food, 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 food.
Butt
There is no
scratching.
thinking.
Yeah. Cats to me are like an episode of Pinky and the Brain, right? The brain would be the cat, and then Pinky would be the dog.
Yeah,
And he'd just walk around going narf all the time.
yeah. Dogs are stupid, but I love them. I love those
Well, that is
guys.
why we love them, because it's just complete joy and happiness that we're alive and with
Un
them.
we were talking about this. Me and Katz were talking about this that dogs have unconditional love for
Yes.
their owners.
Yes. They are just pleased as punch when you come home.
Yes, my dog loves me when I come home or when I feed him.
That too.
So, what's your question for the next person?
So I was watching something recently and I don't recall what it was, but it was if you could go back in time and witness an event in history, you can't alter it, but you could go and witness that moment in history, what would it be?
Oh man,
What
I
a
could
great
go.
question.
Oh
Right?
man, I wish that was my question. I wish that question was for me.
We
Well,
could let you
answer
answer
it,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I. Oh my God, this almost makes me want to cry, but it's so stupid and so awesome at the same time. If I could be in Phoenix for the shot that John Paxson makes where the Bulls win their third championship, that was one or there's that or there's the Joe Carter home run. Mine would be sports. If I
Yeah.
could be there for Joe Carter's home run and witness that or John Paxson's three-pointer for the Bulls to win their three-peat, oh my goodness, like yeah, my thing would be sports. I would just that would just like light me up to
Recent history, not like the bomb, the nuclear bomb or whatever.
so yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
maybe
really
you
want
wouldn't
to
want to be there to
I
witness
don't really
it,
want to watch
but
Hiroshima go up, but
yeah. But no, something like some big whatever event happened, whatever it was, the landing of the Mayflower in America or whatever. It could have been anything, right?
mm, I
Yeah.
like that question though. But anyway, mine would be sports related.
Okay. What about Cotty? What would her
Yeah,
moment
Well,
she's like snarking at
thank
me.
you for asking, Christy.
be?
Mm,
Well,
Like
mine
we
would
gave her
not
a
be
moment
sports
while she wrote
related.
it down, but yeah.
right.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I'm going way back. I'm going back to Atlantis, and I want to know how people lived, how they communicated with each other telepathically, and what their temples of truth were. And oh, I just want to walk among the gods that rule the earth.
That would be
Wow.
amazing.
That'd be wild. I was kind of picturing you as like Wilma Flintstone.
In Atlantis?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that was the same time frame.
Getting my cartoons mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or you could be like Ariel from Little Mermaid. I'd date a mermaid. Totally.
That leads to so many
Oh
weird
my
follow-up questions.
God. Okay, well,
Well,
Christy, what would your historical event be?
it's such a good question. We're actually answering it here. That's
Right?
never happened before.
Oops. Um, I've lately been in a bit of a rabbit hole with some history stuff. So, I mean, obviously, like Egypt and the pharaohs and like Queen Cleopatra is something that's on my brain recently.
Oh, Kathy would love
Um,
that. Yeah.
Van Gogh is always like a huge thing for me.
Hmm.
Like the Doctor Who episode where they go back in time and help Van Gogh with like a mystery, and then they bring him forward to see the Van Gogh exhibit at a museum, and he's just in shock that everyone is still looking at his paintings. And then they like turn him back to back with like the museum guy, and he's like, if you could say anything to Van Gogh, what would it be? And the guy just goes off on this tangent about like how he's the most prolific artist of his time and all this stuff. And Van Gogh was just like bawling in this museum. Like, I think to go back and see kind of his struggle when he was creating all of this beautiful art would be phenomenal.
Hmm.
So that episode of Doctor Who always brings me to tears. I can't help it. There's a couple Doctor Who's that make me cry, and that's one of them for sure. But
That's an interesting concept.
yeah.
I loved the show. I don't know if you guys remember this Quantum Leap. You guys remember
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
Quantum
yeah.
Leap?
Quantum Leap is awesome.
I
Yes.
love Quantum Leap so much that where he would go in and he would just his job was to alter one moment though in
I
history.
think
It,
so.
it
Yeah.
wasn't to
Yeah.
witness; it was to alter it.
Yeah.
But to me, that's just so fascinating. But yeah, that's so cool to be able to see an interesting artist's struggles because you can imagine how hard on your mind an artist would be. Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
nothing, you're not good enough, whatever.
Yeah. Like, and
Nobody,
none of his paintings even sold until well after he had died.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
it was only his sister-in-law. That's the reason that he's famous. So, like, he never recognized that any of his art was worth anything. It was his brother that was supporting his lifestyle and all of his art supplies. So, like, just like his life was just suffering. And now he's like huge and everybody knows his paintings and there's museums everywhere dedicated to him and stuff. It's like that would be wild to see that.
he was ahead of his time.
He really was.
I think that's my thing too. I'm ahead of my time. That's
There you
my
go.
that's my karmic cycle.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get you a museum at some point.
Yes. I can't even wait to hear my eulogy from heaven.
It'll be amazing. Just
What
don't
an odd
haunt me,
episode this
okay?
has become.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't
Well,
haunt me.
yeah, exactly. I'm watching you guys. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
You better not think bad thoughts about me. Anyway, before we go too off the rails, I just wanted to thank Kristi again and for Kati for amazing questions. And man, what a fun episode. It was a roller coaster. I love a good roller coaster episode.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kristi, for sharing and being vulnerable. And I really appreciate that. And I think that anytime that we spend together, it's always very good and very valuable. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
I think we have a close enough relationship that like you guys are my safe space, even though this is going out to more people than just us. You are my
Millions.
safe space, and I don't have any issues sharing everything that's up here with you guys. So thank you for having me on again.
Yes,
It's
it was
always a
fun.
good time.
It
Yeah.
was fun. So I just want to remind everybody to promote the show, listen to Kristi, leave some comments, share it, like, and subscribe. And just remember, like, we're all geniuses. So find your genius zone and keep living it. And, we'll see you on the next episode. I can't wait for the Arbuckle trilogy.
This is gonna be good. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it'll be good.
Oh, we'll think of it.
Okay. We should film it in person when I come out in August.
Yes.
Done. Wish granted. It's a make-a-wish for Kristi.
I mean, we
Uh,
could film another one before then. We don't have to wait until August, but we could do a live and in person, a Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live. Yes.
Can you imagine us doing like skits together? Oh my God, I want the greatest costume. I want to be Mrs. Roper.
We're gonna start a new show.
Yeah. Sketch comedy.
Friday Night Live. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode.